From the Journal of Dr. Henry West, Arkham, 1756.
Was it only 4 years ago that I first stepped ashore at Boston Harbor, with my beloved bride, Lenora, at my side?
She is dead now.
Taken by cholera.
The surgeon's hands saved hundreds in the outbreak that swept through the colonies. Yet I failed to prevent the death of my own wife. Tonight, God willing, I will join her. To take one's own life is a mortal sin, but perhaps I can lead his hand. Poison shall be my nepenthe. I leave my estate to the people of Arkham. This mansion has become a house of horror. In time, may it become known as a place of healing and stand as a memorial to her beauty and grace. L'amour triomphe de l'amour. It seems the good Lord is not yet ready to accept me, nor to forgive my sins. For as I lay at the threshold to the eternal abyss, an angel spoke to me, his face a pale mask of serenity. His message: she doesn't have to die. I returned from that dark place with knowledge of a means by which to arrest time's advances upon the flesh, and the promise that, God willing, science might one day restore Lenora to life. My rational mind tells me it was a delusion, born of the laudanum I took, nothing more. And yet, the apparition had spoken the truth. She lies perfectly preserved now, serene as if sleeping, like some princess in a grim tale. She shall sleep enough for the both of us. I must go to work. My rational mind tells me From the Journal of Dr. Henry West.
The war against the British continues. General Washington hails me as a hero and credits me with saving the lives of many of his troops through my skills as a surgeon. All that matters, though, is the knowledge I can glean from the shattered and bloody bodies that are laid out before me. They will be the textbooks from which I will learn the secrets of life and death. I have learned so much in the last 20 years of study, but my beloved Lenora remains perfect but lifeless, while I continue to age. I fear that the secrets I seek will not be easily discovered in the span of one normal human lifetime. I have exhausted all possible sources of knowledge in the fledgling nation of these United States. With the limited resources available to me in the Americas, I have already achieved some small success in my experiments into the reanimation of dead matter, a scientific discipline that I have come to call necrobiology. It is my belief that further advances may be made through close study of some of the knowledge contained within the countless libraries and universities of Europe. For I think that this may not be a new science at all, but a very old one previously dismissed as necromancy. I leave my beloved Lenora behind me, preserved in a catacomb beneath a large plot of land I have purchased outside Arkham. She will remain there, safe and hidden, until I return.
From the Journal of Dr. Henry West.
At last, a breakthrough. After scouring Europe in search of the crumbs of knowledge I required, I found the last few vital pieces I needed here, in Edinburgh, where I first studied to be a physician decades ago. What I have found is not a means of restoring life, but of prolonging it. Armed with this new knowledge, I will be able to extend my life far beyond its natural limit, allowing me to work tirelessly to achieve my goal. Wherever I go, I am driven out, pursued by angry mobs and rumors of witchcraft and murder. These ignorant fools! It is not witchcraft I practice, but science. And does not science require sacrifice? War again, as the great European powers take to the field against each other. I care not for the petty squabbles of nations and conquerors. All that matters is the work, and the advancement of my knowledge of the frailties of human flesh, and the ways in which it can be surgically altered and improved upon. Surgery is the key to the restoration of life. I feel sure of it now. A few more decades, a few more wars, and my scalpel blade will finally cut through to find the secret knowledge that I know is hidden within these maimed and bloodied forms. It is time for Henry West, MD, to leave Arkham once more. I've been here too long, and rumors are beginning to circulate, drawing attention to my apparently unaging appearance. I have already laid the groundwork for my eventual return. A nephew has been mentioned, Howard Phillips West, a surgeon and man of science, like myself. A decade or two from now, he will come to Arkham to claim the inheritance left to him by his now late uncle. I leave my beloved Lenora resting in the secret place within the chapel I have built for her, where I know she will patiently await my return.
From the Journal of Dr. Henry West, the Crimean Peninsula, 1854.
Europe is at war again, providing me with more surgical fodder for my work. Humanity concerns itself with death. I am concerned with life, with reversing the effects of death, and restoring my beloved Lenora to my side, with conquering death itself.
From the Journal of Dr. Henry West, Georgia, 1864. Arkham is a distant memory, and my image of Lenora has grown indistinct. Yet still, I can vividly recall the scent of her hair and the warmth of her lips. I know she waits for me still. Almost a century has passed since I began my search. I've seen wars, famine, empires rise and fall, and so much suffering. My experiences have led me to explore realms I would once have dismissed as superstition and fancy. Now at last, my journey is over. At last, I have the means to restore my beloved to life. I return to West Mansion and my love. The house shall soon be alive once more with the infectious sound of Lenora's joyful laughter. Disaster! I am a fool! Lenora has returned, a ghoulish, screeching, drooling thing. She watches without seeing, through blind eyes older than time. I keep her restrained for her own benefit. In rare moments of lucidity, she is herself again, and begs that I set her free. It is a ruse, as I have already learned to my cost. Yet perversely, these fleeting instances give me cause for hope. We're close, my love, so close. I must go. She is hungry. Lenora slipped her chains once more last night. I found her at dawn on the outskirts of Arkham, Her face bloodied, her beautiful ivory wedding gown stained black with gore. And this time, clutched tightly in her hands, were the shattered remains of a porcelain doll. Oh, God! The children! From the Journal of Dr. Henry West, Cambridge, 1866. What devilry is this? I have been sent to Cambridge on a wild goose chase by Arkham's magistrate. The patient did not keep our appointment. His house is deserted. 2 days of travel have been for naught. I cannot shake this dread feeling deep in my heart that something is terribly amiss. 6 o'clock. Too exhausted to sleep. The sun rises, today as every other. Yet something has forever changed. I feel not its warm embrace. I cannot yet make sense of this madness. I write this account of last night only to convince myself of its irrevocable outcome. My heart is dead. Lenora is no more. I reached Arkham at nightfall. As my horse Providence crested the west ridge, I witnessed a chilling scene, and the purpose of this fool's errand became clear. Towering over the mansion stood a sacrificial wicker man, crudely fashioned. Even at a distance, I could make out the mob and the flailing figure of a woman in an ivory gown trussed and borne on her shoulders. A jury of the great and good of Arkham Town had already pronounced judgment. Their intent was plain. Lenora was to be burned as a witch. I rode with haste. As I rode, a cacophony of jeers and cries and such screaming reached my ears, and I grimly observed that the good Christian folk of Arkham Town have not entirely abandoned their pagan roots. How quickly man will revert to superstition in dealing with matters he does not understand. I prayed for help to any god that would listen. But it was not our Lord that answered. I could not say what fate befell that mob, only that their shouting and jeering turned to screams, and then a strange, inhuman moaning that chilled my blood. In that garden, last night, I did bear witness to a succession of events I can scarcely believe, though they did happen. Before the Wicker Man stood a masked brute, drawn straight from the pages of some lurid penny dreadful, and in her own voice, Lenora cried out to me. And then, in a ghastly parody of life, that rough-hewn effigy did begin to move, groaning, creaking like the gates of hell. The brute began to scale that tumble-down colossus, and with inhuman strength did he tear apart the Wicker Man and set Lenora free. I used my talents only to serve mankind. My reward is ruination. So be it. All that remains of my wife are memories and her wedding ring. In time, both will tarnish. Science has failed me. Humanity is a luxury I can no longer afford. I shall put my faith in older gods. I will tear down the gates of heaven to find you, Lenora, and I shall reach them on a stairway built from the stacked corpses of the good people of Arkham. And the body of her masked executioner shall form the final step. From the Journal of Dr. Henry West, Arkham.
All is not lost. There are greater forces in the universe than science and so-called reason. In my researches into the obscure arcana buried away in the furthest corners of human learning, I have come across hints of them many times before. Always I dismissed them as superstitious nonsense, but no more. Artificially induced longevity of my own lifespan, the reanimation of dead matter, gross surgical alterations of human form, all these things would be dismissed as impossible. And yet all these things I know to be possible. The secrets are there if you know where to look. To find them, you need wealth, a great deal of wealth, and decades in patient searching. Fortunately, I had both in abundance. I traveled the world. I filled my home with curios and books. Most of them useless, but some of them would provide me with what I needed.
From the Journal of Dr. Henry West, Peru, 1923.
The world is filled with secret voices. They talk to us from ancient books, from artifacts stolen from tombs, from the hieroglyphics carved into the walls of lost and secret temples. I listen to them all. Finally, after decades of waiting, I found the right one to unlock the knowledge I sought.
From the Journal of Dr. Henry West, en route, 1925. The Southern Americas have proven to be fertile grounds for my research. We set sail from Tulum, well laden with the arcane relics of religions long dead. I sense I'm being steered by some invisible force, more powerful than the wind and the tides. 2 days ago, just north of Puerto Rico, and in an unnatural fog, the ship was dashed against the rocks and wrecked. I awoke on the shores of this lonely atoll. Where? I cannot say. The constellations in the night sky are not those I learned as a child. It is a strange place, desolate, eerie, like home. It would seem that I am the solitary survivor of the wreck. Yet I am not alone here. Even now, in the darkness, I hear that dreadful, ceaseless chant. La, la, Cthulhu Fatagan. Periodically, the island is ravaged by fierce storms. In the days that follow, seafarers from eras long past are washed ashore, while the wreckage of flying machines from some distant future lies strewn across the landscape. In this place, yesterday, tomorrow, and forever after exist together in the here and now. At sites throughout the island, the air crackles with an unknowable energy, jagged as broken glass. It is in these places that the fabric of reality has worn most thin. But worn thin by what? From cannibalized mechanical parts, I have devised a system of relays stretching across this island with a mind to harnessing this energy, perhaps to exploit the unique properties of this place for my own ends. No doubt this climate is treacherous, yet those marooned here face more immediate dangers. The island's inhabitants hunt them down tirelessly, with grim delight. With each sacrifice, my instruments measure a surge of some dark power. Those that evade capture are slowly changed, corrupted. I alone am spared. I have penetrated the inner sanctum of the Thule Temple. At its center stands a golden sarcophagus, Aztec in origin, radiant, glorious. It seems strangely familiar, as if from a dream of long ago. It intrigues me. One could say it calls to me. I should like to study it further. This day, I have made contact with the island's indigenous inhabitants. It is as if I had been expected. They are men of the sea, slimy, grotesque. Once, perhaps, they were human. The gods that came to my aid the night Lenora died are known to these creatures. They are their masters. At last, I shall learn their name.
The dead possess a hidden energy. A necrotic power, or necro-energy, is released at the moment of death and can be harnessed by those with the power to see it. The masters feed on it. Death is the source of their nourishment.
From the Journal of Dr. Henry West, 1930. Doorways. Everywhere, doorways. Between here, there, and perhaps the hereafter. I travel freely now, unencumbered by such trivial concepts as time and distance. I channel limitless energy through these portals directly to West Mansion. So my research continues.
What wonders have been opened up to me now that the secrets of portal travel are mine? I have sat in caverns deep beneath the earth and conversed in dead languages with inhuman things that dwell there. I have stood on alien worlds and looked up at stars far different from our own. The hidden pathways of the universe are mine to command. The Abyss. That is the name of the prison my masters are trapped in. It is elsewhere, part of overspace, a place far beyond human understanding. They have been there for longer than time can be measured. But it is written that they will return one day, when the stars are aligned. When they do, they will reward those who have aided their return.
The Dark Masters. At last I have found them. The energy required to create the smallest breach into the great void was immense. So much suffering, so many deaths. No matter, something was let out. All tentacles and horns, immeasurably vast, awful. It is but the slightest projection of their form into this domain. It is the Lord Thule.
I return now to Arkham, to West Manor. I return too as another Henry West, nephew of the previous owner of West Mansion, and legal heir to all that was his. There are the great old ones, the many-angled ones, the rulers of the impossible gulfs, the masters of all that is seen and unseen. They have a true name, though I only ever dare say it once and never again. They are the corrupted, and if I serve them faithfully, they will give me what I want. The masters were, the masters are, and the masters shall be. Not in the spaces we know, but between them. They exist, serene and primal, formless, and to us, unseen. I have not always gone by my true name. In London, in 1888, I called myself Jack. I was bored, but soon found ways to keep myself amused. Now I go by the name of Henry West again. Before that, I was Derleth West. Before him, Randolph Carter West, Clark Ashton West, Howard Phillips West, Charles Dexter West. So many different names, but all with the same face and purpose. I like this modern world, so cold and impersonal. A pity it must all be destroyed. I watch with amusement as mankind sends rockets and satellites into the cosmos. If they knew what else was out there, waiting for them, they would run and hide and never dare to look up again. The human race are vermin, infesting the earth while its true owners are absent. I will be the exterminator. To while away the years and tap the youthful life energies of Miskatonic's student body, I've once again taken up a post at the university, the fourth time I've been a member of the faculty in the last 100 years. We Wests have always been at the forefront of the advancement of learning.
From the Journal of Dr. Henry West, The Arctic, 1951.
The greatest discovery of all, an ice palace built beneath the polar wastes, a cathedral to the glories of the masters, founded upon the ruins of something far older. It is all nothing more than a monument to grand folly, though. Those that built this place sought to use the masters for their own ends. They were punished for their arrogance, while I will be rewarded for my faithful service. There are places of power here on Earth that have known the touch of the masters. They are few in number and watched over by terrible guardians, but I must find them. Everything depends on it. Despite my attempts to unlock its secrets, the Terramas continues to frustrate me. I thought I sensed a power within it, but perhaps it's no more than it appears to be, an unremarkable ceremonial bone mask. I return it to its place among my collection and turn my attention to more important matters. I have consulted the texts I have so painstakingly collected. They say the secret of the portals is contained within the pages of the Necronomicon. By chance, a copy of that most infamous of books is kept under lock and key in the restricted section of Miskatonic University. Whatever the cost, I must have it. My home has changed much since I first built it. New wings and floors have been added, hidden cellars and dungeons excavated, and outbuildings have grown up in the grounds around it. It has its secrets, and it has guardians to protect those secrets. Arkham is in an uproar today. There was a break-in at the university library last night. A night watchman and some interfering fool of a librarian were killed, and a rare volume stolen, although the authorities refused to name it. No matter. I now have what I need. I have traveled through these portals to those remote and mystic places that have known the touch of the masters. Fools reassure themselves that these places of horrors and wonders exist far from their own doorsteps. But the touch of the corrupted is everywhere. They are here, among us. If only we had eyes to see them, look for them among the haunted and abandoned places of our everyday world, the places we instinctively shun, even if we do not know why. They are there. They are waiting for us. Last night, through ways too strange to easily relate here, I made direct contact with the Masters, and they made their divine will known to me. It will take years to plan and decades more to implement, but time is something I have no shortage of. Their will shall be done. How many days have I sat in the mansion's chapel? First of all, it was the resting place of my beloved Lenora. Then it became a place of communion with the Masters. So many ways to the secrets of my home intersect here. It is at the heart of everything I work for.
From the Journal of Dr. Henry West, Arkham, 1976.
I have made a holy covenant with the rulers of the impossible gulfs. When the stars are right and the way has been prepared, I will open up a gateway to allow them to escape their prison. This world shall be theirs again. In return, they will restore my Lenora to me. Poets write of love so strong that it shakes the world. The love that I bear will destroy it instead. The Necronomicon speaks of a war in the abyss, and a renegade that escaped. Weak, dying, it oozed through the cracks in reality and into this world. The Masters assure me these legends are lies. The Masters put my scientific knowledge to good use. In my labs beneath the mansion, I create new forms of servant creatures for them, splicing together abominations and monstrosities. I build their armies for them, and they are grateful. Problem: subjects' screams disturb my concentration while I'm working. Solution: sew up the mouth or sever the vocal cords. For every year I have spent in West Mansion, I have spent several more traveling the world in search of knowledge. I don't worry at leaving my home unoccupied for so long. The things that roam its grounds and lie in wait within its walls will deter any unwelcome guests. I do not sleep, a side effect of the longevity process. I lie in the darkness and hear only the screams of my victims. It has been like this for more than 200 years now. The Master's true forms cannot exist in this world. They require host bodies. But what form, what kind of flesh is strong enough to contain the terrible power of their life forces? It will be the supreme challenge to build new bodies for them. I mold flesh and resculpt bone. I create things both unnatural and wondrous. I enjoy my work. I've seen hundreds, thousands more likely, die before me on the surgeon's table. Their gods did not answer their babbling prayers. Mine will. Humanity is doomed. I am convinced of that now. While mankind sleeps, the Masters and their servants grow in numbers and gather their strength. They build their armies in readiness for the glorious day when the gates are opened and those who wait in darkness return to reclaim what has always been theirs. We are not the owners of the earth. We are merely its unwelcome tenants. The servants of the masters are crude, bestial things, with one exception. It calls itself Biggie Man, and although as savage as many of the others, is possessed by a primitive but cunning intelligence. The others fear it greatly, and in my dealings with it, even I have felt wary of its tricks. These creatures that are harvested for food here, what are they, I wonder? The remnants of some elder race? An offshoot of humanity itself? It doesn't matter. They are merely cattle. An appetizer to the main course. A foretaste of mankind's fate once the masters return. The masters of the abyss reward those who serve them. Food is one such reward. I will be rewarded too. My beloved Lenora will be returned to me. The masters are patient, for after summer comes winter, and after winter comes summer. They know their time will come again. Host Body A's natural strength and size has been increased through surgical augmentation, making it powerful enough to contain the life essence of one of the masters. Of course, the process has driven it violently insane, but living flesh is always easier to work with than dead. It is more than 30 years since our covenant was made, and still I wait. The places of power on the other side of the portalways must be explored and prepared. Intricate rituals must be conducted. The movements of the heavens must be observed. And still, I wait. I am patient. I will have my reward. Lenora and I were never blessed with children. But I think of all my creations as my children now. They play in the grounds of the mansion and make their lairs in its darkest corners. The children grow restless and hungry. I must arrange for another student to visit me here at the mansion and keep them entertained. Even after the rituals have been conducted and the heavens are in the correct alignment, a sacrifice is needed. Fate will provide the right victim, the masters tell me. I will know the sacrifice when it is seen, they promise me. The children consume human flesh with much relish. I tried it once. It was not to my taste.
From the Journal of Dr. Henry West, Arkham.
In the Old Testament, it is Ahriman the terror that stalks by night. The Necronomicon calls it the Great Devourer. The insectoid race that once inhabited the dead world of Formosa called it Isigtuga, and burned their entire planet to ash in sacrifice to it. It is the overlord of the corrupted, and it will be the first to cross over when the gateway is opened. When the stars were right, they could plunge from world to world through the cosmos, consuming all. But when the stars are wrong, they're confined to the abyss. Soon, the stars will be right again. The moment grows near. The time of cosmic alignment is only a few short weeks away. The masters have promised me that the sacrifice would manifest itself, but still I wait. This moment has been decades in coming. Has it all been for nothing? My theories in necrobiology find little favor with the sensibilities of this modern age. There are protests and complaints. In previous centuries, they stoned me and drove me from town. In this age, they write protest emails to the college newspaper. I live in an age of naive innocence. My work still requires subjects. The rituals require sacrifices. The creatures in my mansion require feeding. Luckily, the student population at the university is ample enough to provide me with everything I need. They do not like my theories, but my cash is a different matter. I tell them the life essence draining devices I hook them up to are a private research project. They leave weakened and faint, but $50 richer. They spend the money on beer and pizza, no doubt. Poor compensation for the 10 years or more that I have just stolen from their likely lifespan.
From the Journal of Dr. Henry West, Arkham, 2009.
My hand trembles even as I record this. Today, in my office, at Miskatonic, a young woman came to see me. Her name was Jennifer Willis, a student at the university. In looks and manner, she is the near double of my beloved Lenora. The masters were right. Fate has provided us with a chosen sacrifice. I have known no friends, no close acquaintances, no human companionship for 2.5 centuries now. I do not need such things. I have my work and the assurance that my beloved will be returned to me. I will offer up that girl's soul to the masters, and her flesh will become my beloved's flesh. All is as it should be. This girl, Jennifer, will die so that my Lenora will live again. When the sacrifice is made, at the right time and in the appointed place, the gateway will open and the masters will be released. Lenora will be returned to me, reborn in this other woman's flesh.
From the Journal of Dr. Henry West, Arkham, 2010.
The alignment comes tomorrow. I have found the right bait to lure this woman to my mansion. There, I will carry her through the portals to enact a portion of the ritual at each of the places of power. Then comes the sacrifice and the opening of the gateway. Nothing can go wrong. She is here. I hear her talking in the hallway below. She has brought another with her, against my instructions. Some feeble-minded boyfriend, no doubt. No matter. He will not save her. Nothing can.